Good afternoon, family. This is Yvette, your co-host of Soul Tie Saturday, a part of Breaking Chain Ministry, and a moderator of Spiritual Connect, also a part of Breaking Chain Ministry. It is a beautiful day today, and I just want to come on just for a moment and share a breaking point with you. I am not going to hold you long, I promise. So, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And that comes from Psalm 118:24. And it is a beautiful day, and it's a day to rejoice that we have life, we have full use of all of our limbs and extremities, we have our right mind. Those are all things to be grateful for. As soon as we open our eyes in the morning, we should be ready to burst forth with praise because God is worthy of our praise, right? But I am a living witness that it don't always be like that. Some mornings I wake up and I can't muster a praise from nowhere. You feel me? It be days like that. We go through things in life that will pull us away from our attitude of gratitude, if you will, and we can get down in the dumps, and sadness can take over, and anxiety can take over, and all the things. But I'm here to tell you, I'm a living witness that God is good. Even on your darkest day, God is good. And he is praiseworthy, right? So I'm going to share a little bit about me, about my life, about my testimony. Last year, on July the 4th, the unthinkable happened in my life. I lost my firstborn son. He took his final rest on July the 4th at 3:56 p.m. And when I tell you my world stopped, my heart broken, my world was shattered. I didn't know whether to be mad or sad. I was on a emotional roller coasters, and I don't even like roller coasters at all. And I will tell you that sometimes I am still on that roller coaster. It has not been that long. But I just want to share the goodness of God today, and I want to encourage anyone who is going through, whether it's the loss of a loved one, the loss of a job, whatever it is that you're going through, God is still good. He's still good. And I'm going to tell you, when I was going through those initial days after my son passed away, I really I was operating on autopilot. The time got very dark for me. And but one thing though that I realized, that God was pouring out his love on me through the people that he had placed in my life. And the more they loved on me, the brighter my life became, if that makes sense. And even though I still, have days, where I still just cannot believe that this is my life, that my son is no longer here with us. Even though, I do have great moments of sadness and despair, if you will. Because, how do you navigate that? I'm going to tell you how. You press into God and you allow your people, to love on you and to shed love into your life, to pour love into your life. And that's what God did for me. He surrounded me with people, human beings, who just poured love into me. They prayed for me. They fed me. And people brought me food, and that's something that I do when people are going through anything. A lot of times, the first thing I want to do is get in my kitchen and start cooking, because that's my love language. And I learned that from my grandmother, and I didn't understand as a child why she would do that. But I understand it now, because it wasn't about the food that they brought. It was about the love that was being exhibited to me when they were bringing the food. They took time out of their day to, to come out and sit with me, pray with me, laugh with me, make me laugh, or, and yeah, I did eat, but it wasn't about the food. And why am I saying this? Because regardless of what we're going through, and we're living in some, I don't know, perilous times, if you will. There's a lot going on. But I wanted to share with you to remember this, that God is still good and God is still in control. And if we wake up in the morning, we have breath in our bodies, that is a cause to rejoice and be glad, right? It may not feel like it. I'm so glad that it's not, God's goodness is not contingent upon how I feel at any given time. Because, yeah, there are some days that I don't feel like praising. There are some days that I don't feel like rejoicing. But yet I have still so much to rejoice about, because God is still good. And He knows what's best. Even though sometimes things don't go the way that we want them to go. Because I will tell you, when my son passed away, that was not what I wanted. But I recognized that it could have been even worse. It could have been worse. And I acknowledge that God knew best. And as sad as it makes me sometimes, I can still rejoice, because God is still good. And He has continued to strengthen me, and He has continued to build me up in my faith. And I just wanted to share that with someone. Maybe someone might hear this that's going through the loss of a loved one. It will get better. It may not seem like it. And some days, now catch me on an off day, and I might not want to hear any of that. But I can still testify that God is good. It didn't change His goodness. My son's death did not change His goodness. And it did not stop me from trusting Him and trusting Him to know what's best. So this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice. And I'll say this, because we know it's some crazy stuff going on right now. But come what may, if you still have life, you still have breath, because God is continuing to breathe the breath of life in you, then that is a reason to rejoice. And not let our circumstances stop us from rejoicing. It doesn't matter how you feel, because some days we don't feel like it. But I guarantee you, if you open your mouth and give God praise and give God glory, not only will you feel better, but your perspective will change. And your situation won't seem as bad as you think it is. Because sometimes we think that our situation is the worst, and we've got it the worst. Because I went through that whole phase too. But I realized and I recognized that it could have been worse. It could have been worse than it is. And there's someone else who's out there suffering even more than I am. So this is the day that the Lord has made. Rejoice. Regardless of what you see going on over there. Regardless of what you see going on over there. Rejoice and be glad. You guys take care. I love you with the love of the Lord. Be blessed.